Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Thirteen. Page 14. Fifteen. Sixteen. 17, and the last page, 18. Thank you. Can someone please move?
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Can I have only one mover?
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
I repeat, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Record of votes and proceedings for Tuesday, 12 July 2022 has been adopted. Announcement from Mr. Speaker.
I have no substantive announcement to make today except to advise the House that I intend to rise latest by 1:30. Because I have a meeting of the Parliamentary Service Commission at 2:00. That's the reason. So I'm not going to engage on any chronic of my own. It's still parliamentary work.
One is more important.
Thank you. Yes, let's proceed.
Sierra Leone of elected member of Parliament, third schedule of the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone, Clerk of Parliament. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, in conformity with the letter submitted by the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone to the Clerk of Parliament, I hereby declare that Jawa Sise of Constituency 056 of Tonkolili District has been elected as Member of Parliament Honorable members, I did not call for any beating of drums.
Eddie. You know, so this is a phone, and you're not on the camera. Why does Zoom? Yes. It will be for 2 months. But let me know what they do. I'm man, they are never get the shot. That's your taking it. No, not the dinner, I'm shot. She left me. That film up, you look if all the man, then not did it. When me the film show,
I'm going to repeat
white.
what I was prevented from saying by the beating of drums.
Cannot get the shot power. He's a professional about film. You don't win award for film.
I hereby declare that Java Sise of Constituency 056 of Tonkolili District has been elected as Member of Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I didn't know how many drums you people brought. Pursuant to Section 83 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act Number 6 of 1991, I invite the Clerk of Parliament to administer the oath of members of Parliament as established in the third schedule.
The Honorable Speaker, sir, honorable members, I would now want to invite Mr. Jawa Sise. Honorable members, please, honorable members, allow the process, please. I would equally want to invite the leader of government business, the deputy leader of government business, the leader of the opposition, the deputy leader of the opposition.
And they should be smiling.
and the mama in the house, the Speaker of ECOWAS, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, I equally want to invite the leader C4C, I equally want to invite the Vice President of Civil Government, can we please maintain decorum? As Honorable Aaron Corona said, we are suggesting the last part. And I also want to invite the acting leader of NDC. Honorable members, the Parliamentary representative should also be here, Honorable Baran Samamara. Mr. Johnson, can you please come to my right?
It's not for me. I think good for 2 months. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Jawa Sise, are you a Christian or a Muslim?
Christian.
Christian. The Bible, the Holy Bible. When I say I, you say I, and then you call out your name.
Okay. Then we know.
You are now taking the oath of office as a member of Parliament of the 5th Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
I, Charles Sise,
having been elected a member of Parliament, do hereby, in the name of God swear, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Sierra Leone, as by law established. That I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Sierra Leone, and that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of a member of Parliament. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Honorable Jawa Sise. You've now been sworn in as a member of Parliament of the 5th Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone. This is your package, and in this package, you have the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, which will guide you throughout your stay in this house. There is also the standing orders, which is like the Bible of this house. Read it thoroughly, prepare yourself with the provisions, and they will guide you through the days and procedures. And then this is the parliamentary prayers. Every morning, once you enter the well of Parliament, you will recite these prayers and they will guide you. So, once more congratulations. And now the acting Deputy Director of Legislative Services is accompanying you to your seat that has been allocated to you by Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. People are urging me to do something that the Speaker has not instructed me to do.
I thank the Clerk of Parliament for administering the oath of office. And I wish to take the opportunity to congratulate the new member. It is now my pleasure to invite the leader of the opposition to say a word of felicitation.
I was a bit distracted.
I know you always get people who distract your attention.
One thing I know,
And I know where they are seated.
Mr. Speaker,
They are not seated next to you in front, but always at the back.
we're always at the back. Mr. Speaker, but one thing I know,
My only worry is that there are ladies amongst them. I would have had a word or
and
two.
some of them are your best friends. So you like the ladies, all of them, more than all the men in this house.
I like all the ladies.
That's it.
More than I like you.
I know. Without even saying, I know that.
And I want to increase their number.
And really, that's what we want to do, Mr. Speaker. We want to do it using the light channels. One thing I know for sure is that the names are Chino and Madam Manchu. Whether you call me some other name or otherwise, those are my names. So whether it's majority or opposition, the fact remains. I know my name. I know my name, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. We have very serious business on the other paper, so I will not spend a long time with felicitation. I just want to use this opportunity in appreciating and thanking God for what He has done for us, but also acknowledging the role that NEC played
as a body. We are very professional, and so we are the security sectors. They did a fantastic job. All of us contributed in one way or the other, but NEC as an institution provided the lead. So what they did, I mean, we had observers from the international community, local groups, but the elections were conducted by NEC. So whatever we say, the first credit must go to NEC. For doing that fantastic job. So I would call on all of us as citizens to continue in supporting NEC to achieve what is good and best for the Republic of Sierra Leone. We should not put them under any undue pressure at any point in time, whether it's from government or the opposition. What we are supposed to do is to support them in doing what is right. So I want to thank them very much and congratulate them for that good job, whilst we look forward to 2023. Mr. Speaker, when the clerk referred to him as the last born, we pray because we're not looking forward to any other by-election again. That's what we wait for 2023. So we pray that we'll suffer no casualties and that the newcomer will join the family and enjoy the house. Here we represent Sierra Leone. We belong to political parties, but we represent Sierra Leone as members of Parliament. They have just taken the oath, and the oath he took, he swore to, had to do with the Constitution, defending it, and not defending a political party. That is why we have friends across the aisle. Those across the aisle also have friends on this side of the aisle. But when we debate on what we believe and advance our causes. There is no malice. So you should learn that as well, Mr. Speaker. Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. We want to congratulate the young man that has joined us and wish him well. Thank you very much.
I thank the leader of the opposition for his statement. And I invite the leader of government business to say a word of felicitation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations, newborn MD in the House. I hope you will take your standing orders and constitution very seriously. Read them, trying to comprehend so that you cannot be misled. I do so, I'm not also. But in the presentation, I hope that will resonate with us till we get to the election. In defending the commissioner, all the commissioners passed through this house. I said, people of credibility, high moral standing. They are happy. The other side, they are actually that word. The chief electoral commission, and then they have set a base that these are people with high moral standing, with high level credibility. You cannot put them under any undue pressure. Thank you, bravo for that statement. I'm so happy for that statement because I can remember I read so many articles criticizing him. Today they have dedicated him on this very day. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for presiding over us and directing us to be able to get a very strong men and women in the commission. So we need to give him support, and I urge Clark to put him in the relevant committee that he's supposed to be. And let us keep the faith. The more democracy can only be maintained by strengthening the neck. That's what we are doing. So we hope this statement made by leader of the opposition will resonate amongst us, and that will be our focus on the public elections at the day. And let us make the law very robust, and let us begin this reform. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. The Lord bless us all.
I thank the leader of government business for his statement. It is now my turn to say a word or two. The Honorable Jawa Sise of constituency 057 Tongolili district. 056, I beg your pardon.
You're welcome to the Sise
I want to endorse the statement made by the Clerk of Parliament that you are indeed truly my last born, and therefore going to be my favorite son. Like all last borns, they are always favorite. You've taken the place of Lahaimara. But on a more serious note, I want to re-echo and reaffirm the words of felicitations that have been directed at the NEC, more particularly the chairman, all of you present in this house. All of you members of Parliament, you owe your presence here to NEC as an institution. And I think the least we can do today is to reaffirm our respect for NEC, for NEC's independence and impartiality, and for helping to give democracy deeper roots in the soil of our country. And we want to urge NEC under your leadership, Mr. Chairman, to continue to do what is right, to continue to do what is proper, and in accordance with the laws of our land. So that when we get our elected members of Parliament, we can proudly say, yes, we are a democracy to be respected. We are a democracy that is taking deeper root in the soil of our beloved country. Thank you for a job well done. With those few words, I think we can now get on with the day. Thank you.
Bills. The Public Elections Act 2022. Secondly, the committee stage and governing the Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
I have called for the list of those who have already spoken. Those who have already had the benefit,
Mr. Speaker,
of catching the eye of Mr. Speaker during the debate on the second reading of this bill.
Observation, sir.
That will come later, madam. We are guided here by the standing orders. Yesterday, we were late when we had the blackout in the chamber. I don't know whether before I give the floor to the honorable member to continue with this debate, whether the chairman of the Energy would like to enlighten the House.
Take away how you meander your place. Unfortunately, with the assistance of World Bank.
Order, allow the member. You are not the only.
Mr. Speaker, we have had support from World Bank to revamp the transmission and distribution network. 5 primary substations in Freetown have been revamped 100%. Another 5, ETA has just paid the project affected persons. The work has commenced.
I think by that time, you've educated this House before about the progress that the energy sector has made.
Noted.
And we congratulated you and the Ministry of Energy, headed by the Minister. I want you to direct your mind specifically to what happened last night.
No. Okay, Mr. Speaker, let me be very precise. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, I want to inform this House and the general public that the grid was up and running. I mean by the grid, the national grid, where we get our power supply, was up and running. It is an interface problem. It's an internal problem Parliament has. Even yesterday, I will not apologize because the grid and electricity supplied electricity. I'm not a parliamentary head, so I will not apologize for that. Mr. Speaker, what happened yesterday when we had the outage here?
Allow the member.
That is their problem. They don't want to get it. They exactly know what happened yesterday, Mr. Speaker. When we had the outage yesterday, Mr. Speaker, I called the Director General here, the Deputy Leader of Government, Mr. Test, and he told me that the Honorable, the grid is up and running, we have not disconnected Parliament. And I went downstairs, there was light all over the place. The other buildings around had electricity. We are only short of electricity in this web. So it is not a problem of EXA, it's not a problem of Ministry of Energy, it was an internal problem, Mr. Speaker. Let everybody understand that the grid is up and running, and we are sure the people are providing sustainable electricity for the people of Sierra Leone. I thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I want to help you as a professional. Mr. Speaker, I'm a trained and qualified electrical and electronics engineer. I'm a
I'm perfectly aware of your qualifications. You are certainly not from Dominion University. I know, but take your seat. No, take your seat. Now, as we've all heard, I'm coming. It's an internal problem. Therefore, I will be asking the clerk, who is responsible for the administration of Parliament, to investigate and to report. But for me, that's the end of the matter.
Mr. Speaker, I need your assistance. I was expecting the chairman last night and he was not available. I could not see him. So I just need your intervention to make sure that today I see him at the right time.
Leader of opposition, it was a favor. It was a favor. I was not obliged, but I will still make sure that your problem is solved.
Mr. Speaker, when a gentleman promises, it's not an obligation. He's a gentleman.
I don't want to get into that.
He's my leader, don't tell me.
I don't know the nature and character of the problem. So I don't want to get into
I have said no there. He's my leader. There is no way I'm going to argue with him. Your problem will be solved.
Very well. With that, honorable members, yesterday we cut short by virtue of the outage. We suffered the contribution of the honorable member from Congratulatory. I don't know whether he is here. To the best of my recollection, he did not reach the last paragraph. So he was still having the opening, the chapeau paragraph. By all means, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this another opportunity to contribute to this debate. Mr. Speaker, I was just making an opening statement yesterday when we had the unfortunate situation. And I opened by asking a question and providing answer as well as to why this bill, the purpose of this bill. The purpose of every bill, there's a super summary of every bill contained in the memorandum of object and reason. Every bill. And I made reference to that provision. And in that provision, in that memorandum, it is stated clearly what the minister intends to do in this bill. And that is exactly what the memorandum ought to do. Is to state clearly what you intend to achieve. It's a way of proposal. And then you need Parliament now to help you achieve those ones. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I observe that, of course, I read it yesterday. The memorandum states the intention of the Attorney General to amend subsection 2 and 8 of section 32 of the Constitution and also section 33 of the Constitution. That is what is contained in the memorandum. And then, as usual, it is also closed, say, and other related matters. That encapsulates other related, because you cannot do all the bill in the memorandum at the same time. So, on that note, I observe, which is absolutely unacceptable. In fact, it cannot work. One, that the two provisions mentioned in the memorandum, only one was brought before this Parliament. Only one was addressed. That is not possible. The memorandum says two constitutional amendments, namely Section 32 and Section 33. But when we received the said amendments from the Attorney General, we only received one of those mentioned. We never received the amendments in respect of Section 33. That is one. And Mr. Speaker, I must say that that is unforgivable. It is unforgivable. It is impossible. As long as you have stated it in the memorandum, you must do it. There is another one which may be forgivable. That doesn't mean I have forgiven you, but may be forgivable in respect of drafting of memorandum. It may be forgivable. That is this. The constitutional amendment, he mentioned only two and brought only one. And then he brought another. He brought section 76, which is not mentioned in the memorandum.
Somebody might be tempted to say, well, it can fall under related matters. But, no. But, there's an exception. For amendment of relevant provisions of the ground norm, for identification of this house, to make sure we are not misled, we are not misdirected. Apart from the rule of other related matters, if you intend to amend any section of the ground norm, it must be stated in the memorandum. It cannot fall under other related matters.
Point of order.
Yes,
I want my colleague to read. He has read the provision 32.3. I want him again. He has cited provision in the Constitution, section 33. Can he please read for me the provision cited? I want him to read it. Because he's not telling us amending that provision in the Constitution. Let him interrelate it.
Okay, let me read. For the education of the public.
Because if you check section 173, there's a provision for regulation in form of statutory instruments, which section 33 of the Constitution is making reference to. So we just need that clarification. Let's read for us section 33 of the Constitution to understand better.
Mr. Speaker, we are privileged to have the public. For the public, listening to us, don't have public. So for the education of the public, and for case of its directives as Speaker of this House, I will follow and read. I will first read the memorandum. And then you tell me what is the purpose of that provision. Mr. Speaker, based on its directives and mutually, I read. The object of this bill is to repeal and replace the Public Elections Act 2012, Act number 4 of 2012, to provide for supplementary provisions to section 32 and 33. Two different provisions of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, 1991, Act number 6 of 1991, with respect to the Electoral Commission and to provide for other related matters. Do you need to pass the care to understand that this one is related to two separate and distinct provisions of the Constitution? Do you need to pass the care to understand? It is section 32 and section 33. Section 32, that is what the Attorney General said he intends to do. But based on the constitutional amendment we received, the constitutional amendment documentation we received, we received amendment to section 32 and not 33. Mr. Speaker, I will proceed. That apart from this, stated in the memorandum, the Attorney General also furnished this House with provisions of section 76 of the Constitution, which he ought to have stated it here in the memorandum because it relates to amendment of the ground norm. It cannot fall under other related matters. It cannot fall under other related matters. Mr. Speaker, that attempt.
Daniel, just read at the 3.
I don't need to read 33. I don't need to read 33. The minister said he intends to amend section 33. That is what he intends to amend section 32 and 33. That is in the memorandum. Do I need to read it again? Do I need to read it again?
I want to understand section 33.
Honorable member. Honorable member. You agreed in your introduction
Yes.
that the leader has directed that you read, and you're going to read. So I'm waiting to hear you read.
Mr. Speaker, before I read, let me make my point before I read.
And let me tell you, I also did not sit back here.
Mr. Speaker,
I did not sit once.
Mr. Speaker,
I sat to what they used to call before us.
I also did not sit here. But I used to hear because it is the contemporary practice now. And for the education of those who didn't sit, and of those who sat now,
I just want to direct you to fulfill what you yourself undertook to do. In response to the leader of government, you didn't say you're going to read. And I'm waiting for you to read.
I can read.
Well, read now.
And that is completely from the memorandum. It's completely. I can read.
I will come to the memorandum in a second, but read first.
Mr. Speaker, reading this one, I will read. But I want the public to know. I want the public to know that reading the is not relevant here. The fact is that the minister said he intends to amend a particular section. And then when the amendment came, that section is not in front of us. As contained in the memorandum. Okay, we read. Now let me read. The slide note says functions of the Electoral Commission. The slide note. It says, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the Electoral Commission shall be responsible for the conduct and
it deserves decorum, please. It deserves decorum. Honorable members, allow the honorable member to read. I'm not going to entertain any side meetings, especially across the aisle.
Subject to the provision of the Constitution, the Electoral Commission shall be responsible for the conduct and supervision of the registration of voters for and of all public elections and referenda, and for that purpose, shall have power to make regulation by statutory instrument for the registration of voters, the conduct of presidential, parliamentary, or local government elections, and referenda, and other matters connected therewith, including regulations for voting by proxy. So, now, let me make my point. This is what the Constitution says. Okay? And then the memorandum is saying, we intend to do some modifications in this provision. That's what it's saying. The memorandum is saying, the memorandum, let me read the memorandum. They are disintegrated from their local council. Let me comment on page 60 of the bill, and I ask you to read the caption. Page 60 of the bill. Let me refer you to that. So, we are. I read. If you don't read, because he did not read, I read. I read. The caption. I wrote the caption, Mr. Speaker. The caption. Election of members of local council. And 33 make mention for the provision of local council. It's there. And there's a whole provision of 103, 104, 106. I don't need to read all of that. It's enshrined. Mr. Speaker, in tandem with Section 33 of the Constitution, local election of members of local council, and the provision, if you look at it, in the second to last paragraph, he talk about parliamentary or local government elections and referenda. So the provision in the memorandum and object is clear by providing for Section 33 Constitution and reference that one in Section 103, 104 of the bill is there. The 103. The local council election shall be conducted on the first Saturday of November after the expiration of the term of the councillor. 104. Nomination fee for mayoral and chairman. A candidate for local council, mayoral or chairperson, election shall not take place in that election unless those are the provisions. So what is wrong? So provision in tandem with the memorandum in connection with Section 33 are fulfilled. Are clearly fulfilled. So Mr. Speaker, I don't know what he's talking about. That he intend to amend Section 33. It's not amendment. For the provision of 32 and 33. It's so clear. So let him tell us something because I'm not amending. We are making an additional provision in line with what we have in the memorandum. I respect this.
Mr. Speaker, what is happening now also happened during the debate on the presidential address. The leader has his position of view, and so also is the other member. Can we allow the debate to flow? When he makes his position, if there are counter positions on the other side, when it is time for them to debate, they will come up and debunk whatever will have been said. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker will spend all the time to and fro. Let him debate, the views on that side will come up, and then the public will judge this.
Mr. Speaker, the reason why I objected is because he mentioned that we don't have instrument Section 33 on the Constitution. We don't have instrument to conduct that. So I was just trying to make clarification that we don't need to have the instrument of 33 because we are not making provision. It's very supplementary. It's very clear.
One thing I have learned, both of you, one thing I have learned in this house is the bad habit, very bad habit of interrupting each other indeed. Allow your body to die. When somebody stands up to speak, I as speaker, I want to hear what he wants and what he has to say. To understand where it's coming from. Because I have to take part, I have to listen. But somebody starts in the middle of his sentence. I will get a point of order. Point of order of what? When you not even allow the man to finish the sentence, you are presuming to know what he wants to say. And that is wrong. Totally wrong. In any civilized debate, you allow your colleague to finish and then you respond. So these interjections, I think we'll be misunderstanding and misapplying point of order in this house. Before some of us came to Parliament, we were members of debating societies in our schools. In our schools. And we used to take part in those debates. They formed the basis for future debates. Some of you did not. You missed that culture of LDS in your schools. That is why you are so quick to get up. Instinctively, you want to object and you won't wait for the man to finish. Well, I'm going to reinstate that old culture now. Nobody is allowed to raise a point of objection against another, allow the man to finish.
Except you want to suspend SO34, and let me tell you, we cannot allow a member, you have the permission to accept the point of order or not. SO34 makes it very clear. You cannot allow a member to receive on behalf. No, but what is education? You must see education. You have to suspend SO34. Yes, sir.
Let me assure you that I will not allow anybody to misinform us. Not under my word. But allow me to understand what the man is saying.
Mr. Speaker, you had it clearly. Asking for another instrument to be introduced in the House. That's why I stood up. And I said, point of order, just act one order, supported 34. And the statement they are saying now that you should not write on point of order. When we ask you saying that, when you say, for critical instrument, it's asking for critical instrument. I should object, sir. I don't object to that. He asked for that critical instrument. Which one is the position for? He said, we only have 32, we have 76. Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ, sir. I said, I will not argue anymore. But I don't want to know. I have right to represent the father under section 34. 1, 2.
Yes,
we can
fine. But the
2.
time
He asked for critical instruments. He said you should have instrument to section 33 to the amendment. He said it. He said it. That we ask for critical instrument for section 33. I said we cannot try asking for section 33 constitution in tandem with the memorandum. We cannot accept that. You cannot do this over us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I respect it.
You know, leader of government business. What did we do yesterday?
Mr. Speaker, if you go to 1:30, we are getting to 12 o'clock.
Mr. Speaker, I respect you.
I was waiting for the honorable member. Because yesterday this House amended certain sections of the Constitution that were also not mentioned in the memorandum. And I was going to ask him what he thought of that. You see, I was waiting for you to follow your reasoning up to a certain point, and I was going to raise the question. What happened to those provisions yesterday? Provisions of the Constitution that were amended here, that were brought for consideration, and none of them seem to appear in the objects. Exactly. So anyway, you carry on. But please, the general warning, allow a man to at least make a point. Because I also want to follow what he's about to say. But if he is in mid-flight, without even concluding the sentence, you interrupt him, then I will know what the man wants to say.
Ali.
Carry on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Although I must say, your style of presentation again, Mr. Honorable Member. Time consuming. Carry on. It's your style.
Thank you very much for acknowledging my style. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have 2 questions. In the first place, what do you mean by the word supplementary provision? Supplementary provisions is clear.
But you are answering the question.
The memorandum says to provide for supplementary provisions in section 32 and 33. And in compliance with that undertaking, by memorandum is in compliance with that undertaking, section 32 was complied with. Supplementary provision came.
Yeah, please. I'm sorry to intervene. Let us go through. Clause 7 of the bill. Clause 7. I read clause 7 of the bill. Clause 7. 7.1. The object of the commission is to perform the following functions in accordance with section 33 of the Constitution. I have refused to go that far. He is dragging on to something that we don't want to go into. The first action for constitutional instrument, I have objected to that. I am now coming back as if you have not mentioned anything about section 33 in the bill. It's already provided for. He asked us what is supplementary provision. In accordance, that's what you meant by implementing. I rest my case. We allow him to say the rest. Thank you.
Well, I have a more fundamental question that I want to ask you. Because you spend so much time on the memorandum. No. Let me make my point. Honorable members, let me ask you a fundamental question. The memorandum of objects and reasons, which you will find at the back of the bill, are they an essential part of the bill? Are they part of the bill? Are they part of the bill?
Mr. Speaker, it is mandatory that we have a bill without memorandum of object.
But they are not part of it.
No, they are. That is why.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
Mr. Speaker.
No, they are not.
Mr. Speaker, they are only not a part of the act, but they are part of the bill. That is the distinction. The bill is a part of the bill, but the act will not be a part of the act.
The reason is why I'm raising this fundamental question is because it's dwelling almost on the objects and reasons attached to the bill rather than going to the substance of the bill.
I was just because I needed to respond to that.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in answer to your question, we are all aware that when a bill is presented by our proposer to this house, it cannot be even be looked into in the absence of a referendum. A memorandum. Without the memorandum of object and reasons, we can't even look at it. It's not even a bill. It's not even correct to even face legislative committee or legislative hearing. That is one. Then secondly, if you are saying the memorandum is not part of the deal, of which I disagree, but are you also saying that the long title is not part of the deal? Are you saying the long title is not part of the deal? The long title stated the same. In the long title, I read the long title of the commission. Being an act to repeal and replace the public elections Act 2012, Act number 4 of 2012, to provide the supplementary provisions for section 32 and 33 of the Constitution. So the question now is, why did we receive supplementary provisions for section 32, which was correct, and then section 33 we did not receive, but it's contained in the long title? Are you saying the long title is not part of the deal? Are you saying it's contained in the long title? That is one. Then two, the relevant section mentioned by leader of government business, Honorable from Kenema, that in clause 7, it addresses the functions of the commission in accordance with the section 33. Does that amount to supplementary provision? No. Does that amount to supplementary provision? It doesn't. It does not. And in fact, in answer to your earlier question, which I have mentioned before, that apart from the long title, apart from the memorandum, there are other constitutional instruments. There was another constitutional instrument that the Attorney General brought to this house that we are not mentioned in the long title and the memorandum, which also is on the order 34. He brought section 76 of the Constitution.
They're just making reference to that.
Are we amending? It's a supplementary provision. Are we amending section 32 of the Constitution? That has been a case I'm pushing to you. You know, it's like that. It's my man. I have respect for you. I I hate to contradict you. But you know, we have to educate the house and you direct the house also. We cannot keep on telling us that we are not amending section 33. We are not.
No, there is one thing I don't have control over. If somebody is long-winded, I cannot make him short.
Thank you. Sorry very much. I understand. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you don't intend, if the phrase supplementary provision does not amount to amendment, then under which umbrella now that we amended section 32? Under which? And about the memorandum, even the long title, it is stated there. And I said earlier that in the memorandum, whatever provision you intend to amend in the ground norm, it must be stated in the long title and also in the memorandum. It must be stated. If you are saying the memorandum is not part of the bill, of which I disagree, because you and I know that in the absence of that memorandum, we cannot accept any bill here. We cannot even sit on it. If you intend to touch any area in the ground norm, you must state it for clarity so that we will do an informed debate. But you cannot ignore provision that we intend to amend in the ground norm, and then you say something else, you say to come with that one, and come with something else that is not there, even in the long title. And in my opinion, that is unforgivable. And it renders this bill null and void in the first place. It's misleading. You cannot amend any provision in the Constitution not contained in the long title. It cannot fall under unrelated matters. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Finally,
my next question is that in the long title and in the memorandum, only two provisions we have stated to be affected by supplementary provisions.
Mr. Speaker, time is past 12, and therefore that we suspend case 5-2. So we are the business of the House.
Any second that
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
all in favor of the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the long title and the memorandum, of which I agree with me that both are part of the bill, only two provisions were stated. Two provisions that will benefit from supplementary provision. Only two. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, based on the purpose of those supplementary provisions, as advised and agreed by this House, we don't want to affect, we don't want to go against the wills of subsection 8 of section 108. We don't want to commit treason here. As I observe that in clause 13(1), paragraph A, subparagraph 1, clause 13, subsection 1, paragraph A, subparagraph 1, attempt to introduce what is called national identification number as a requirement to be qualified to be registered as a voter. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my point now is, if we go to section 31 of the Constitution with your leave and with the education of the public, I read section 31. Section 31 says as follows: every citizen of Sierra Leone, being 18 years of age and above and of sound mind, shall have the right to vote, and accordingly shall be entitled to be registered as a voter for the purpose of public elections and referenda. What is this one saying? It stated two criteria as a qualification to be registered. What are those criteria? One, you must be of sound mind.
SOT, not for the place now. Then two, you must be 18 years or above. SO2, you're not going to be small for 18 years or above.
Then 3.
Mr. Speaker, those are the two criteria in the ground norm to be qualified to register.
No, there is a third. You should be a citizen.
I agree with you. I'm reading section 31. I'm reading section 31. Because what the deputy speaker, the honorable member from what they say, there are so many provisions in the constitution that highlighted your nationality to be qualified. So many provisions. Those are implied by section 31. The drafters of section 31, of which you are a member, you know that by the time you drafted section 31, you know citizenship by being a citizen of this country was implied. It's a waste of time to even bother yourself. Because you are not expecting a Jamaican to come and register as a voter. It's implied. So in this case, it is specific.
No, but it's not.
As a Canadian.
It's not implied.
Okay, I agree. It's expressed.
It's expressed here.
Thank you, sir. I agree. Sorry, sir. I apologize, sir. What is it? It is clearly stated. And the criteria stated here is that 1, you must be of sound mind. 2, you must be 18 years above. Once, as a Sierra Leonean, which is expressed, you are of sound mind, you are 18 years, you should be qualified to register. The Constitution did not say that in addition to that, you must have a national identification number. So what we are saying is Mr. Speaker, this was what the leader of the organization that you are not here to amend section 33. Now, what section 33 is defined, so it's what he's talking about now. Section 33 is giving a leg the power to regulate how the elections and registration can be conducted. So if they are asking that you should have a national identification number, that is one of the qualifications. That is exactly what the people is talking about. So prove that you have experience in simple. That is what is stated. How can you say we are not going to amend those sections? Are we amending 33? Don't ask me. Are we amending 33? You should tell us. We are not amending 33. 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 Memorandum. Are they relevant? Yes, it is. It is relevant. Yes. Yes, so we are here to amend. No, we need to amend that. Are we here to amend the for my language and my language has been asking for the past while. Are we here to amend that? Does it state in the memorandum
that Section 33 to be amended. Is it stated in the long title that Section 33 to be amended? It's not stated. I mean, we need to get one. We are asking it to
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is clearly stated here by the dedication of the public, the long title of the bill. It says, being an act to repeal and replace the Public Elections Act 2012, Act number 4 of 2012, to provide for supplementary provisions to the Section 32 and 33. Section 32 and 33 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, 1991. Act number 6 of 1991 with respect to the Electoral Commission and to provide for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
Read this one.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members. In response to his question that we are not here to amend, I refer him to Section 171, subsection 15 of Section 171 of the ground norm. I refer him. Read subsection 15 of Section 171. You will know what we are attempting to do here. That if you introduce a third criteria as a qualification, that will be at variance with Section 31 and the subsection 15 of Section 171 of the Constitution will tell you what that means. And we don't want to waste our time here, because by doing so, it will be invoked. I learned something yesterday, that a law is not a law until it is invoked. As we discovered yesterday in the 2012 mistake, and as also experienced by the Tucson issue in 2018 election. A law is not a law until it is invoked. It was there, but it was never referred to. It was never referenced. So having learned from that, we cannot be here to repeat the same. To attempt to add a third criteria, to add a third criteria to the provisions of Section 31, which will be at variance based on the context of 15 of Section 171. We cannot. Mr. Speaker, finally, because of time, finally, I refer you to plus 85 of the bill. Plus 85. Yes, Mr. Speaker, for full understanding, I will start from plus 84 for full understanding. So you will see where I'm coming from. That's the literal group. So I pity him. Plus 84. A counting officer. A counting officer shall endorse the word rejected on a ballot paper which under Section 83 is not counted, and add the words rejected, objected to. If an objection to his decision is made by the counting agent. Now let me come to the issue.
No, go to
the real issue now.
83.
85 now. 85 says, where the vote cast at an election of a polling station exceeds, underline the word exceed, the number of registered voters in a polling station, the result of the election of that polling station shall be declared null and void by the Electoral Commission. Take note of that. And then come to subsection 2.
Go ask Mr. Nato.
Subsection 2. Subsection 2 says, and now listen to this very well. Subsection 2 says, the Electoral Commission may, underline the word may, the Electoral Commission may, in the case of parliamentary or local council election, where the result of the voters at a polling station A exceeds the number of registered voters, B may affect the overall in the electoral area. Overall result of the electoral area, schedule another election at a date to be fixed by the Electoral Commission. Now let me tell you where I'm coming from. In cases where there's evidence of overvoting, the general rule, straightforward, it should be cancelled. That is one. But let me tell you now, cases of overvoting, this is not party business, or whether I'm in charge or I will be in charge later or I'm in charge in the past. Cases of overvoting can be done for the benefit, it can be done and cancelled for the benefit of a political party, or ignored for the benefit of the same political party. I will repeat that. Cases of overvoting, okay? In such cases, when it is identified, it can be cancelled to benefit a particular political party, or ignored to also benefit the same political party. I will further explain. Let me say, if I'm in charge as ABC, and then another one is in charge as SLPP, and then in my stronghold, okay, police stations in that stronghold can be masterminded to do deliberate overvoting. And then the whistle is blown. The whistle is blown with the object of cancelling those overvoting polling stations in the stronghold of a particular political party. Deliberate. It can be done deliberate by anybody. Not whether you are in charge now or you are in charge later. Anybody, it can be done deliberate. The overvoting can be done deliberate, and then the whistle is blown so that those polling stations, so many can be cancelled. Providing advantage to the other, that is one. Or I can mastermind in my own stronghold to do overvoting to give me advantage over the other party, and then I ignore the overvoting because I'm in charge. That's also the overvoting. Ignoring the overvoting can also benefit me. So my question now, my problem now, is the nature of the overvoting. Section 86 and 87, no 86 and 86(2) is okay. If you don't mind, I can read, but let me go straight to the point. The word may, the result of the overvoting says, if, I will read that area again, say, may reflect, may affect the overall results. That's my point. So in the event of overvoting, cancellation is simplicity. Case closed. Okay? But the rule now is saying another election must be conducted in that polling station. But the conduction of the election in that polling center is now made discretionary. And once it is made discretionary, then the one in charge may abuse that discretion. As long as there is evidence that police station that has been cancelled, that result, if it was not cancelled, would have made the present result different. If it will
generally affect the overall result. Yeah, it will not be discretionary. I want you to get where I'm coming from. It will not be made at 8-1.
Mr. Speaker, I'm telling us that it is one.
Thank you for reminding us.
Thank you, sir.
That's why I said there is nothing I can do about the member who's not winning.
Yeah, but Mr. Speaker, you can use 38-1, which says no member should take the floor for more than 30 minutes. After minutes, it doesn't matter. That is a standing order, Mr. Speaker. The honorable member has taken this floor for 1 hour 30 minutes now. So why are we talking about? I thought it was going to exit on the standing order.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to an issue like this, your body doesn't your body doesn't an issue like this.
I can't go by the standing order. No matter what the issue is. You cannot occupy the floor for more than 1 hour 30 minutes.
The honorable member with the voice is too loud. No, it's more than another.
Mr. Speaker, we quite understand that my opponent number raised the issue of April 30, 38. But yesterday, we were in this well also, when a member on the other side stood for about 1 hour, making a point, making a case for an issue on an issue, which is also very important and related to the issue that is discussing. And during the process, when this member, honorable member from Congratulatory, was making a point, there have been several interruptions, points of order here and there, and he didn't to them. So I think he must be given a sign for what he has done over the period. Let him complete his delivery.
Even taking into account all the interruptions, he has still exceeded what is stipulated in that text.
Well, I'm sure he's about to conclude some, Mr. Speaker. Please give him the time to do.
You know, I've been patient with him for a reason. Because I have had experience when I was in your position of how overvoting was treated in this country. First time was 96. The second time was 2007. In 2007, we were told to go to the police. 2012. 2012, they said go police. We were 2012, I think it was 2012, when we were directed to the police.
Don't ask that question. The instructor was all to the leaders, not him as SAP, all to the leaders.
All to the leaders. In 1996, there was overvoting, gross overvoting. I remember that very well. Speaker, and equally importantly, about the constitutional instrument. the excess votes and still maintain 100% turnout. And I asked the question now to overvote. I remember that very well.
Mr. Speaker, somebody you understood me. So my point now is, in your attempt, for which I commend you, in your attempt now to avoid overvoting, I am saying now, by using the word may, what has done the entire process? It should be made mandatory. Mr. Speaker,
there are two provisions in clause 85. The fourth provision is mandatory. Shall, and the second provision is conditional. May.
Well, that's the problem.
No, it's any one of the two.
That's exactly the problem.
In the parent may. It's not in any condition. Only one. 85. 85, conditional. Here is giving two. The condition is here. If I have 110 votes and the overvoting is just, I have 110 as a winner, and the runners up say got on it. If I have 110 votes and the overvoting is just, I have 110 as a winner, and the runners up say got on 85, and the overvoting is 10. Why didn't they cancel your result? Why didn't they cancel it? No, why didn't you cancel it? It does not affect, so there are two conditions. Mr. Speaker, two conditions given to you. 85-1 is mandatory. If I have 110 votes and the overvote 85 and the expenditure, the money involved, it does not affect on the overall result. What are you worrying about? That was for even presidential, parliamentary, local council. The constitution, the expenditure. I'm not very clear. Now, you say percent. Percent is different from giving after the quarter of number. But 2% it has. What you are saying, the first condition given. I'm not very clear. Two conditions, and the condition they are strings attached. If that result affects the overall result, if the results, that's why I said, if I want to have 20 votes and you have 85 votes, or say 60 votes, and the overvoting is just 10 votes, do you have to redo the whole election? That's the question. Let me know. So the second provision given is for that condition. I read my case, then we Mr. Speaker, you have to say.
More than 100%.
I'm not talking about percent, I'm talking about figures. Okay, say if you have 10 votes and the other person has 2 votes and the overvoting is 5 votes, do you cancel your result?
Mr. Leader said, if somebody has 100 votes and the second person has 105.
No, I did not say so.
We are more than 100%.
No percent.
And 100% the village to talk, you can't go more than 100%. If there is more than 100% of voting, the election is long. The election is coming. That is the point we're saying. But the other point is that there is no reason why one area should take share and the other will. That is what my land is saying exactly. Why the both share? We are here to correct or contribute to the bill. He is making a suggestion. Why interrupting all the time?
It's part of it.
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it seems as if what I said this morning fell on deaf ears. Mr. Speaker, Section 85, Clause 85, it's very, very clear. I don't know whether we've read the clause and understood it well. Mr. Speaker, 85.1 is distinct from 85.2. 85.1 is just saying elections, and 85.2 has been narrowed down to parliamentary and local elections. So I don't know when I was going to see it on but that is the point is here, Mr. Speaker. If we had allowed the other members to land, maybe it would have been easier for us to conclude this. We are here to talk. This is Parliament. Parliament, you speak, you talk. Thank you very much, Mr. I'm sure you've seen what I'm about in your mind. So what is happening now is just wasting our time. Let him land and let us make public.
I know the prerogative of Parliament is valid.
Yes.
To talk.
Yes.
But to talk sense.
That's why you have to talk sense. What we are doing is, Mr. Speaker, we are distracting him from concluding because the law is making sense. Because the more they allow him to land, the more he exposes the gaps.
Like I said, there are historical precedents.
From concluding because the law is making sense. Because the more they allow him to land,
and he was a victim. As I said, he was a big historical precedent in this case. It happened in 96. It happened in 2012. And 2007. And we were told to go to the police. Indeed was a victim to go find a situation. It happened in 96. It happened in 2012. So it is incumbent on Parliament to get it right. And it is incumbent on this Parliament to get it right. So, Mr. Speaker, so that there is no repetition of overvoting again. It happened in my experience in 96. It happened in 2007. It happened in 2012. And it happened. The Electoral Commissioner in one of those instances, I remember very well, had no law whatsoever to guide her. Unilaterally took a decision to cancel the results at the police stations affected. And she had no law that gave her that authority to guide her. Indeed, of highly to cancel the results at the police station. Both are here and she
there was a memorandum signed by the party regarding the vote.
So that was not law.
That was a memorandum of law.
So here you can understand. I don't know. I'm sure many of you were adults at the time of the meeting. And your votes were not given anybody. So we can conclude that. But this is an attempt to find a solution to that critical problem. I'm sure many of you and I think Parliament has to find the right solution to this problem of overvoting. Thank you. But this is an attempt to find a solution to that critical problem.
If you don't mind, I read a provision for overvoting.
And I think Parliament has to find the right solution to this problem.
In the clause 85(1) and 85. Thank you. So now this parliament reads, let's say whatever you want. If you don't mind, 87 in the current act. In the current act, we want to make sure that it's free elections at all time under our administration. This is the Public Elections Act 2012 under the administration of former president and the Prime Minister. 87(1), where the vote cast at an election at the polling station exceed the number of registered voters in that polling station. The result of the election of that polling station shall be declared null and void. The same way, by the Electoral Commission, another election may be conducted at the time taken by the Commission, where the result at the polling station may affect overall result in the electoral area in the case of Parliamentary.
They are just emphasizing the president at the time they go to room between. They have the manifesto at the police station and they have condition across the results.
I see where you are coming from. That is a fundamental question this parliament has to ask. Is overvoting a good or bad thing?
Very bad. Very bad.
So, I'm coming. If overvoting is bad, simplicity. Okay? Then let us have one single solution to overvoting. We cannot tolerate overvoting. Simple.
We need one solution. That is why I said 85, 1 and 2 must be held conjunctively in the next issue.
If you say overvoting is bad, then there is nothing to be done to make it good. Nothing. We have to accept the principle that overvoting is bad simplicity. And the only consequence is to cancel and have another election. Take a just clarification for me.
We have not depend on the overall result.
To say otherwise,
It's not a financial implication.
with the greatest respect to you,
Yes, sir.
to say otherwise is to endorse the validity of overvoting.
No.
Yes,
In the parents ask,
let us agree that
they are
overvoting
proposing
is
the
bad.
same thing, but they are just fixing it for understanding. It is the same thing that
No, if you say overvoting, if you accept that overvoting is bad, what is bad is bad. It cannot be cured any other way.
Mr. Speaker, let's have that clear. Is that a ruling?
Yes.
I think that the government that voting is very bad. And people are using voting as a means to get to power. But there are also people who are supporting voting. And I think that our representatives Parliament to ensure that all the polling agents or the people administering in that station that is in where our voting is taking place must be dealt with. Because we must have a form of punishment for that.
We'll come to that when we get to committee stage. Let me come back to the other, to the member from Congratulatory. You spent more than 1 hour trying to tell us overvoting is bad.
Mr. Speaker, you agree with me that I have been unduly interrupted.
No, but then you could have found a way to shorten your presentation.
Yeah, now the point of orders from all over the place. I've been unduly interrupted.
It is from specific, not all over the
Ali. It's on one side.
Yes, he's afraid. He's afraid. He should be.
This town have been put on it from now on.
Mr. Leader, withdraw that. What is good for the goose?
Honorable members, this goes for you, honorable member. Have you finished now?
Mr. Speaker, it's abundantly clear that I have not been allowed. I've not been allowed. I've not been allowed, Mr. Speaker.
Wait a minute. Even if I
Mr. Speaker, the interruption is really too much and it's unfair.
Taking account of all the interruptions, you still exceeded what the S rules allow you.
I appreciate you for that, sir. But this is being Sierra Leonean, and what I'm saying now, you can agree with me, you express even more than I do. That this issue of overboarding should be addressed. Adequately, once and for all. It must be addressed.
Okay, conclude now, because this overvoting, when we shall definitely address it at committee stage.
So let me arrange fears. Let me tell you now. The intention of the Attorney General, very clear. Subsection 2 of Section 86. Clear. I will read loud and clear. It says, notwithstanding subsection 1, the Electoral Commission may, if satisfied that the result of the election will not be affected by the voting in the polling station where the election result is nullified, direct that the return of the election be made. So you see clear. Our point is if it's for vote and it says nullified, and the subsection 2 of section 85 calls for notification. Okay? Our point is once overvoting has been identified, let's say for instance 9 police stations, 1 police station cancelled, and the number of registered voters in that 1 police station is 300, and then 9 allowed, the 1 cancelled. The population of that 1 cancelled is 300, and then the difference between me and the leader of public business out of 100 voters, for instance, the difference is I got 40, he got 60. Okay? I got 40, he got 60. What is the difference? 20. And then the police station that has been cancelled is 300. So it is very clear. It is very clear that is not that 300. If the election is being run, can change that overall result. But according to subsection 2, if the election is 25, let's say for instance, the difference between 100, I got 10, he got 90, and the 195 is just 20. 20 added to my 10 is 30. He got 90. It's still not necessary. That is what subsection 2 is addressing for police stations that have been modified. But my problem is, as long as the overall result can change, the police station that has been modified, as long as if that one is done, is rerun, if it can change the overall result, then it should be mandatory.
You've made your point. I would say you more than made your point.
In conclusion, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. No, and I hope it is a conclusion.
In conclusion, yes, sir. In conclusion, as a bit, that at committee stage, let me prepare our mind. That at committee stage, you agree with me that overvoting can never be done without the knowledge and concurrence of the presiding officer. You agree with me? It can never be done without the knowledge and concurrence of the presiding officer. For as you said,
unfortunately, there was no law to address overvoting. Now that we have attempted to bring the matter to the general, I am preparing your mind now for committee stage that this time going forward, a penalty must be prescribed for presiding officers in charge of a police station where they are overvoting. Whether it affects the overall or not, for punishment, it must be prescribed. I've gone through the professional supervision, it is not there. And I'm suggesting that we provide that one.
And with that,
I conclude. With that, I conclude that any attempt in this bill to amend provisions of the 1991 Constitution is not avoid simplicity. First one is section 15 of section 171 of the Constitution. And we must not attempt. If we go ahead, it will be not avoid. And we don't want to waste Parliament's time yet. There are many other points, but I know there are other points. Thank you.
So Speaker, arise on issue 1. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why I want to be assigned your attention. Thank you. I want to say I'd like to mix up 5137. Arise on issue 37 on the directory motion for the election week to continue on the future date, possibly tomorrow. I so move on issue 37.
any seconder to that motion?
I go second.
All in favor of the motion say aye. Those against, nay. The ayes have it.
Pursuant to SO 37, the bill entitled Public Elections Act has been deferred to a future date.
Thank you. Learned Attorney General, we are excused until the future date when we consider the.
So 2012, people would have been getting off of work. You must say, what will be the issue? You must say, what will be
Mr. Patola.
Like 2007, where people don't be avoid. No, not many people are voting. No, not people are voting. No, not people are voting. No, not people are voting.
Now, which part of the
The National Security and Central Intelligence Act 2022, introduction and first reading, Chief Minister.
Mr. Speaker, may I observe, sir? Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you'll be surprised. That is relevant to the law. What is this money? I know you'll be shocked. Okay. When we talk, sometimes you say we have fathers, this and that. This is not fathers. It's not. It's not that. It's not that. You know it's about this. It's a disservice for this nation. It's a disservice. How can we do first reading now? We only got copies this morning. We have not cleared any portion of this. Only this morning. Well, it appears as if we are not Sierra Leone. No, we don't have to postpone anything. No, we have never done it before. Mr. Speaker.
Because I want to, honorable members, please consider the nature of the bill.
Mr. Speaker.
Which I want to do.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
I want to finish what I'm saying. I want to finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
I want to implore all honorable members to consider the nature of the bill. You will be given sufficient time to consider it, but please, this particular bill touches and concerns the national security of our country. And this is why I'm directing all of us to be cognizant of the importance of the bill, particularly bearing in mind the nature of the bill. Yes, I'm aware that you may have received it only this morning and you even have to be made to sign for it. It's because of its critical nature. Can I help? So at least let's talk.
We quite understand, and I think based on what you have told us about the nature of this bill, the importance of the bill, we are taking cognizance of the fact that it's a very important bill relating to the security of this nation, which we are all very concerned about. But Mr. Speaker, that's not the more reason why we're saying that bills of this nature also have been given to us long before now, so that we'll understand the details of the bill, and because when the Chief Minister sits here to start discussing this bill, we'll all be au fait with what it contains and what it is about. That is why we're saying, Mr. Speaker, having the bill only this morning, when we have a very critical debate that we are all going through in this house, we need to have this bill long before now, so that we know the content. As we speak now, we don't even know the details of the bill, the content. So if we start now, we are not doing justice to the bill, and we will not be giving it the importance that it is due, that bill. That is why we are saying, Mr. Speaker, for now, this bill cannot continue, and in this house, we don't want it to continue because we are not going to be able to contribute in any way or to make it meaningful, or to make a meaningful debate out of it, Mr. Speaker. And besides that, Mr. Speaker, let us understand that we have rules. Many a time, We have raised it in this house that when bills of this nature come, let us get them long before we come to the house so that we'll be able to understand the details and be able to debate from an informed position. The rules are there.
You will be given the opportunity.
Mr. Speaker,
I want honorable members particularly bearing in mind the nature of.
That is why we are saying, Mr. Speaker,
You will have the opportunity.
No, let me learn, Mr. Speaker. When bills are brought to this house, the perception of the people around the country and internationally, they believe MP must have seen this bill before it is presented. And they believe we must have taken part in the presentation. That's their knowledge. And therefore, you bringing it today and presenting it here and allowing us to even sit and listen to it is disservice to our people. And now that we are going very close to election, Mr. Speaker, let's sign this warning that every bill of this nature that has security implications are related to elections. And therefore will not take any speed in looking at anything that will bring henceforth. The day it is brought, we ask for time to look at it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, honourable members, I can understand your concerns, but introducing the bill to the House of Parliament for the very first time does not cause any harm at all. It does not cause any harm for us to allow the bill to be read the first time and the part of the second time. It does not cause any harm. You still have enough time to go read the bill and come to argue and debate. It does not cause any harm at all. Let's be true to ourselves, honourable members. We know this bill is extremely important, but introducing it for the very first time will not cause any harm. So please, honourable members.
I think the problem is on your part. You should have complied with the rules of bringing bills to Parliament. Don't come and ask us to bend over backwards. That it will cause no harm. You want us to sit down here looking like sheep. We don't understand what is going on. We do not understand what the minister is saying. That is not good. Comply with the rules. Then you call here and you carry on.
Honourable members, Mr. Speaker, I want to make a quick clarification. I don't really want to get upset telling us that I don't comply. Because your members at the front, they can tell you that I'm very consistent and compliant. Distribution of bills, other papers, etc. And compliance in the standing orders is very clear. Order SO 11, subsection 6. And I'm waiting. I've asked for the waiver to be here. Because for members to receive their waiver, any document at the front desk, not sign for it. They said the document was distributed yesterday. Anyway, please, don't let it make sense. I don't want to do too much hope. Mr. Speaker, yeah, let me remind you, duty of the clerk, SO 11, subsection 8, not later than the day preceding each sitting, distribution to members, paper to be known as other paper, setting forth each of others. That's it. So, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed, times without number, always raised by Honourable Daniel to have document before sitting. And it has been here for time. Before putting on the other paper. And it was distributed yesterday. The only problem we have now is to talk with the front text. So the front text, what happened to be yesterday is within the limit of time. If you receive it yesterday, it's within the limit of time. So you're saying, so that's what I want to prove. So when you are referring to us that want you to bend backward, I will not accept that because I've lived up to the expectation to put document on the other paper that we think have been distributed 24 hours before sitting. That's the correction I want to make. If they cannot provide us with the way book, it's not the responsibility of the bench here, it's the responsibility of the front desk that has to do with the plan. Well, because we have done it, we have said it, they are the responsibility to members of Parliament. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, let me help with this. Mr. Speaker, point of order, 47. 47 Mr. Speaker. Speaker, is in relation to the bill. Mr. Speaker, 47. This is in relation to the bill, distribution of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Sit down.
Mr. Speaker, this is in relation to the distribution of this bill. 47 to Mr. Speaker. Please, 47 to Mr. Speaker. Because of the nature of this bill, it has to do with the National Security and Central Intelligence Act. It is very much important and also necessary for us to discuss this bill before we present the Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, the chairman is Mr. Speaker, can I have that? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to add. Mr. Speaker, have you not add? No, he hasn't.
Without government business, will you respond to SO 47?
Mr. Speaker, 47 is very clear. It's a proviso that if there is necessity for us to do that one, we rather discuss the bill in camera with the minister. You know, thinking about the tension around now, I don't see myself telling them to discuss the bill in camera. I want to do it for that. If they think that's why necessary, I can do it because I'm the government bench. But for me not to propose something, then we have to discuss. But that said, there is goodwill in reading because it has to do with the security of the state. So if they think we can do SO 7, we can do so and discuss it in the camera because the security need. But for me to stand and push members to do that, I don't. The ramification is huge for me. But if we have that compromise, I don't have problem with that. So I agree with him. I mean, the provisions are clear. This is faithful, and we can do it forcefully if they agree. And the rest we can do it and use it SO 47 too. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, with due respect to the leader, maybe he's not understanding 47. Alright.
Maybe it's basic to understand, but there's a camera there.
Yes, the camera is important because it's security, but also it's really legislative hearing. I'm emphasizing that one, Mr. Speaker. For us to understand the details of this bill. I don't want to see another cyber act coming in disguise, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is important we know the details of this bill before even presenting it here to you.
I think pre-legislative, we have agreed with this as a modus operandi. For us to have two forms how to discuss it. For sometimes you can do first reading. Because of the interest of the public, you can say further discussions. Consultation, we call it consultation. Pre-led is somebody just coming to present. We are tired with that. We want to have exhaustive consultation. But for me, we are tired with it because there are times for the cyber law. We had over months discussing it. We did the first and second, we did consultation. Consultation is more exhaustive than just in the pre-led. We have people come and present.
now we have a problem with the public elections bill. When it was done by pre-legislative hearing, people went and informed people that they are introducing the professional administration system, the PR system, which was quite not in the bill. So if we had proper discussion, consultation, bringing major players over and over, we can go further to do that. Can you please wait? Please. So I'm saying, if ENSO 47.2 is talking about two different areas, if you want us to do it in Gambia, fine. But I'm saying we do the first and second reading and we ask for consultation. But this one, first reading, sorry, but this one has to do with our security. I must emphasize. For the Finance Act we passed, 2020 Finance Act, we had an argument in purchasing arms and ammunition. We voted again. They said, no, we should go through procurement. How do you want to expose your arsenal to everybody, to know what you have in your armed people? So we challenged them and you voted against it, and we won by one vote. So this is a security matter. And sometimes we need to take politics off this one. When our security is jeopardized, the consequences can be felt on the politicians. Greatly, they go for the politicians. So sometimes we put politics out of some of the discussions. So for me, if they want us to discuss it in camera, in ESO 47, also if they want us to have further consultations, so be it. I am not quite for us, even if they don't want us to have the first reading, so be it. Because I get to get fair in the but where's the way to show that we started distributing the book yesterday, the bill yesterday? Mr. Speaker, anyway, Mr. Speaker, I said they have the option. He has raised ESO 47. I have given the option today. First, this is a security bill. Let me repeat myself. There are certain details I would not like to disclose. That provision was made because of SEC bill. But if they want us to go further discussing it, we will see what we can do. If they want us to make it public, we can see what we can do. I rest my case.
First of all, with respect, it has always been the purpose for the Chief Minister when he was Minister of Finance to come at the very last meeting to rush the house with the passing instruments brought to his house. First of all, he should have money to talk that as bank. And then secondly, we've all agreed that this is a very sensitive news, and therefore is an important bill. And because it is sensitive and important, I see no reason why we must be saying rushing. We always keep rushing issues that are very, very, very sensitive to national development, to national issues. But let's say, what harm can it do if we are just allowed? But for me, I can say certainly, except otherwise, I'm a human being. I never received any documents yesterday. So, in fact, I am here to see documents. So, what one can be done if we just allow a day, today, we read the bill, and then we come to and introduce anything go to second reading if possible.
Mr. Point of order now. Mr. Speaker.
In fact, yesterday we left here after 8 o'clock at night.
Point of order. Mr. Speaker, point of order. All the paper was on first before one, and I have the document. Let us have respect for ourselves. For a bit, not because we have the political blame, we just need to accuse people. Some of us, we have very moral and good standing society. Please a document, the way we. Please document. 12 July, that was yesterday. Look at it now. Mr. Speaker, the first one assigned. Box number 001, Honorable Emilia Lolotoge, she signed. Honorable 002, Honorable Stars, Joanna, signed. Date 12 July 2022. 12 July. Mr. Speaker, I give you for your reading.
Honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, let me continue. Over there. Honorable Kumba Masayo Commander signed for it yesterday. Yesterday.
5 minutes ago.
Mr. Speaker, I know that date of document is different from date of service. Date
date of document is different from date of service. Sign for it on the 12th. Except if against every signature, there's a date against every signature. Otherwise, the date of document it can be different from date of service. It cannot be the same.
Honorable members, my advice to all of you is not to play party politics with this bill. It is a sensitive bill that touches national security. I'm asking you kindly to bear that in mind. We can at least introduce and do the first reading of this bill.
Mr. Speaker, let us plan to respect procedures in this way. Let us plan to respect procedures in this way.
Mr. Speaker, I want you to be ruling on the document I've given you. Please, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, you have told us.
Contested now.
Mr. Speaker.
Commander here signed for it this morning.
5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago.
Under your word, speaking for the record, this parliament is not going to be this parliament. Speaking for the record, I want to give this document today.
Speaker, I want you to read another document you took. Mr. Speaker, not just Mr. Speaker, is under question. The secretary of this house is under question. It is not about your ruling. It's about the security of the state. It's not about your ruling. This is a very important bill. It's about the security of the state. Let us have time and come back tomorrow. No, but that's what you are implying. That's what you implies. It implies that. Because you are rushing.
Mr. Speaker, just a minute ago, the leader of government leaders was insistent on he was insistent on requesting for the waiver. And the waiver is before us. An honorable member has clearly informed us that he received the document only this morning. Only this morning, Mr. Speaker. What's the point? What's the delay? What harm can this cause if we just give it a day to read this bill? I don't have a copy of my own like I do. So how can I read it?
Mr. Speaker, well, before you start your document, let me just say this. As a responsible and honorable person, when you are signing for a document, you must read what you are signing for. To append your signature, you must be careful where you append your signature. For me, any document I'm appending my signature, I read first. It's the onus on you to read before you sign. The next year is on the 12th of July 2012. That's yesterday. Yesterday, you just signed. And the document, the description document is more than written. So, can we go to attention, please?
The date was written in pen and it was inserted this morning.
Are you sure? It's time. It's time, please sit down. It's time. It's time. It's right at the top. Mr. Speaker, can we get your attention, please? Hold on. Mr. Speaker, can I get your attention? Mr. Speaker, you have the integrity of this house on your shoulder. I have given you a document. On the 12th is typed on the top. And the description document is at the bottom. And the sign. Thank you. I want you for that thing. I will come up again. Leader of Africa. Mr. Speaker, can I have your attention, please, to
Honorable member, according to the record I have here, I have counted 98 signatures.
Mr. Speaker, let me finish.
8 signatures on this document indicating that this document was signed for honorable members of parliament, 98 of them, and the date is yesterday.
Mr. Speaker, leader of government has said enough about us.
Which you have done by pronouncing those who sign and numbers. For the sake of compromise, you have always done in the interest of the whole declaration. We can postpone this discussion tomorrow and have it on the other paper for tomorrow. I'll do that.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker.
Lati, you don't choose them up, no. Well, we're trying political party you are for
Order! What's going on at the back?
Mr. Speaker, your eyes are open. Consistent your country.
In light of the pronouncement just made by the leader of government business, I will not entertain any further discussion on this matter.
Can I refer the leader of government business to
The leader
look at SO 11 sub 9, please. SO 11.
So 11 sub 9, please, Mr. Speaker, about your mind to that. We need 2 days requirements. Legal level.
Honorable members, in light of can we have Electoral? This whole discussion has been brought to a close by the pronouncement made by the leader of government. I again implore honorable members to bear in mind the sensitive nature of this bill and to be mindful of that, please. To be mindful of it. So we shall not proceed with this bill now. Chief Minister, you are excused. Again, let me remind you. I think it is duty to remind all of us. Mr. Speaker, please. I'm coming. You know, when I'm speaking, you ought not to be interrupting me. It's in your SOs. How many times do you need to be reminded? Let me remind you again and again about the sensitive nature of this bill. And please wear your national cap for this one. All of us. our national cap as Regionians. I don't know what you are waving. You are no longer my favorite son.
Mr. Speaker,
You are no longer my favorite son.
Mr. Speaker, today is my birthday and you have disowned me.
I am. That's the right time to disown you.
Parliamentary Service Commission, yes. Notice of meeting. I'm directed by the Honorable Speaker to inform commissioners of the PSC that there will be a meeting today, Wednesday, and tomorrow, Thursday, 14th July at 2 p.m. in the Speaker's ballroom. You are hereby encouraged to attend and on time.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, SO23. Yes, Mr. Speaker, SO23. Mr. Speaker. Yes, sir. 1, 2, yes, Mr. Speaker. At the back here.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to bring to the attention of this honorable house that there are an audio making the rounds on social media with photos of members of parliament on this side and a few other independent other members that if we enact the Public Elections Act into law, they are going to chase us, all members whose photos are attached to that audio. They will chase our families. They will even kill us and our families. That is a security threat. On this bill, on the current public elections bill that we share before we are discussing, photos of the ruling party members are attached. An independent member and one C4C member, their photos are attached to that audio, making the rounds and a security tape and bringing it to the house so that our safety is paramount. Mr. Speaker, this is very serious because it's threatening the lives of members of parliament and our families. And in this bill, there is no issue that is contentious to that point that our lives are threatening on social media. So let it be known here this afternoon that it's a security threat. I rest my case.
Well, I was going to give credence to what you said, but you didn't complete. Because you did not regard my own life as important.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Okay, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, can I be heard at the back here?
No, not on.
one person dead in the person of Cisse, one Cisse, Fascinator Cisse. Another 4 people have sustained injuries, and one of them is presently in critical condition, Mr. Speaker. So I am appealing to this House and your good office to kindly intervene, because I'm getting information by midnight today they are planning to go and attack the chiefdom headquarters town of Fintoya. So it is my firm conviction with a reasonable sense of confidence, if you intervene at this moment, I think we are going to reverse that situation, that ugly situation. Tambaka, this is the second time we are placed under military brutality. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I stand on SU23 to report on an attack on my humble self on the 5th July 2022. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, just after sitting, as we were going outside, some group of people were raining on us all sorts of abusive language. I was up at the outer lobby of the upper gallery when the crowd were threatening to destroy our vehicle. I asked my driver, I hung on the edge of the lobby, asked my driver to remove the vehicle. To my greatest surprise, somebody, an unknown individual, pelted me with a heavy stone on the right part of my head and neck that made me go unconscious, only for me to find myself at the Choitram Hospital. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I stand there, I've gone through various scanning and x-rays. I don't know, because by tomorrow I should see the doctor again. And I have serious pain on my head and neck. It's a concern for every member of Parliament that members
debate from an informed position. The rules are there.
The leader of the opposition was making
that members was attacked by an unknown individual. Again, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, somebody told me that that individual that was arrested, that did this act, has been released from the police station. I don't know when our case will be taken very seriously in this house. Because when we take into consideration that as members of Parliament, we do not have medical support. Somebody was saying the last time that it's a shame on you people as members of Parliament. How can you not have medical allowance or you do not have medical support? My own case is a typical example. I am the only one that is footing my bill. So it's a concern to this house. Because as you know, Mr. Speaker, we've had members of Parliament that have died. And the public is asking us, why did those people die? Again, we have some who are sick. So it's a concern for our security and for our medical attention. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, just 1 second. I just want to add that the honorable member suffered this attack when he called the office. That's all I want to say.
I take note of all the assertions, please. I will engage the relevant with that,
I think this is a very good and convenient point to further justify the well-being of
okay, left arm.
Honorable members, the House stands adjourned to tomorrow, Thursday, 14th of July at 10 a.m.
Good afternoon, because the line
What?